Hey fam, welcome or welcome back. Tisha here, back for another Welcome to Plathville. This is season 2, episode 6, A Moment of Doubt. I don't get how Ethan went from disliking piercings and disliking to tattoos to now saying, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get one. I personally feel like he felt pressured to get it. You all let me know down below. I don't think he should have gotten it. I think that he is trying so hard to make sure that he can save his marriage, that he is willing to do things that may not be something that he would do had he not be concerned about losing Olivia. It's clear to me that Olivia is changing and she expects Ethan to change at the same rate that she's changing, and that's just not what's happening. But do me a favor and hit the like button as we jump into this. So we begin with Micah and all of his social media clips. We see him hanging out with an old friend from church at the skating park. Now, they had not been in contact for some time because at some point the Plaths left the church. And when the Plaths stopped going to the church, then the little bit of normalcy that they had in meeting other kids was gone. The kids were stuck with just one another. Once again, reminding us that they were cut off in more ways than one from the world and that they really had no friends outside of their siblings. I was listening to a clip from Ginger Duggar Volo, I think her last name is now, and her husband's podcast that they do, and they had Lydia and Zach up there. And one of the things that she talked about is that they didn't even go into like the grocery store a lot. They would get a pilot delivered to their house and get things off of that. So it just goes to show you how isolated for a very, very long time that Kim and Barry had these kids. So at this point, Mike is just be happy to be able to have friends. I hate that they had to deal with that. I really, really do. Because it speaks to their socialization. It speaks to how they shut down at times. It makes sense when you see how they are and you hear about some of the things that they went through. So now that he is free, he's saying that he's seeing that there's so many other ways to approach life, and he feels like he's becoming a better person as a result of who he's meeting. I am telling you, one of the things that I love about even this community is our differences. I don't think we were all made to think the same way and to act the same way. And there's just beauty in differences when it comes to creation. That's my opinion. Tell me yours. So let's go ahead and jump to Ethan and Olivia. Olivia is still feeling the blues about the family, as well as not being able to get that house that she wanted. As we've been told in almost every episode this season, they are fighting for their marriage. Ethan is not fond of tattoos, but Olivia lets us know that she and Ethan are going to get a couple's tattoo. According to Olivia, she just threw it out there one day because a lot of stuff with Olivia comes on a whim. So she just threw it out there one day and she was telling him about it and she didn't think he would go for it, but she knew she could wear him down, my opinion. But she's like, if I get it, I want to have some input. So he found what he liked and said that he would be okay with it. So he comes home from what I'm assuming is a day of work and he's no longer into it. He's saying that they aren't his thing, but he'll do it if they can do it together. Because she's like, oh, well, you're saying this, but before you said that you were going to do it, and now you're saying that you're not going to do it. Yes, Liv, he changed his mind. We get it. And you're bothered by the fact that he changed his mind. But I just find it like if he said he didn't want to do it anymore, then just leave it alone. Because Ethan truly has no backbone. We'll get into it. So now he's annoyed because she wants to have more after. Like she's talking about how she may add on to this and things of that nature. And he's like, well, that's not what we agreed to. I thought we were just going to get it matching. And if you add on to it, it's not matching anymore. I think that was his way of trying to get out of it because I don't really think that he really, really wanted to do it. He said that he feels like his feelings aren't considered, which is true. They aren't. because he's not into the stuff that she's doing to her body. But there's only so much he can say when it's her body. Now, she claims that she thought about it and he's right. But it really didn't make much of a difference because nothing changed after she made that statement. And this is when I found myself being annoyed with Olivia. If the man isn't fond of tattoos, then why would you even want him to get one? And then, Ethan, I'm annoyed with you because you need to learn how to say no, my dude. It is okay to stand up for yourself. It is okay to be like, you know what? I don't want to do this. Now, some of you all may disagree with me, and that's fine. Hear me out. I just don't think that she considers his feelings. And she did kind of admit it. It's about what Olivia wants and how Olivia feels. Even with the purchase of the new home, he wanted no purchase. She wanted a purchase. So he was going to go with it. I think he spends a lot of time trying to appease her because he feels guilty about the way things have transpired with his parents. She knows that the man struggles with emotions. She knows that the man is non confrontational. And there are times where I feel like she uses that to her advantage, but you all tell me your thoughts. So we head to the local tattoo shop. Olivia says that she's nervous, but she seems overly excited to me. Ethan, on the other hand, is having second thoughts. He looks like he wants to be anywhere but there. She gets ink first. It's a little baby tattoo. Like, I mean, I don't even know if it's the size of my thumbnail. That might be too big. Then we have Ethan, who can't believe he's doing it. He gets his, they reveal their tattoos, and I am so underwhelmed because of just how small it is. And I know over time, those things, they don't look as clean when they're that small, but they like it. It's the king and queen of hearts tatted on their wrist, and they think it's cute. I think that's a great idea because she can be a queen and he can be a king, and it doesn't mean that they have to be together. Y'all, this made me think. I remember a coworker uh that I worked with for a long time. And she and her husband, yeah, they used to go at it sometimes. Anyways, she had no lie. From here to here, her husband's name was tattooed across her chest. Well, guess what happened? The man cheated on her multiple times and she got divorced. So she got a cover up of the tattoo just to then go back and be with the man. I mean, she ended up marrying him again. They're happy, but I'm saying, like, when you decide to put ink on your body, understand that it is really, really a permanent thing. Now, I know they can do the LASIK and laser it off and all those other things, but it's not an easy process from what I understand, and it's painful. So, be careful about what you do, which is why the little king and the little queen on of hearts on their wrist was a smart idea for them. So we get back to Ethan. After he's inked, he is glad that they did it. He feels like it was a little romantic. Later, Olivia is talking with her videographer friend, Liv. They are planning Olivia's upcoming trip to California. Liv will be shooting Olivia's promo video. They're both named Olivia, so the Ethan's Liv, Olivia is calling the girl Liv. Yeah, I'm confusing myself. So Olivia is looking forward to rebranding her business, and Liv's skills will help her do that. She is talking, and Ethan is eavesdropping, and he's like, let me come up in this room and sit here and jump in on this conversation. So he's like, I've been thinking about it and I want to go. Is it okay if I can come like tag along on the trip? And she seems a little hesitant at first because she's really there for business, but she's going to allow him to come because she wants him to experience the city that she loves so much. So he's going to take a week off and go. She's excited for them to do things together, like go to see Joshua's tree together. And even though I thought he likes nature and all those things, he's very reluctant to go to the desert to see a tree named Joshua. So speaking of Josh, we go to the Plath's house. And I don't know if it's something that they normally do or if this is the conversation that they were having for the sake of the show, because in an interview, Lydia did express that there were a lot of times where they weren't really allowed to talk about what happened with Joshua, and they didn't get to express their feelings in correlation to that. So, hearing that and seeing this scene had me wonder. So, we are at the house and we are told that the little girls have been asking questions about Joshua, wanting to know what he looked like, what color his hair was, and we get pictures of Kim and her son, but it makes me wonder if she has them out in the open. I know different people do different things. I know my brother, he's right by my bedside. He's, throughout my home. I know that, my aunt and them, I have them in different places because, you do different things with different people. So it makes me wonder if she has a space where his pictures are, because it doesn't seem like the little girls are familiar with it. Um, as a reminder, Kim accidentally ran over Joshua with her car when he was 17 months old. And unfortunately, he did not survive that accident. I could not imagine being behind the wheel. Whenever she talks about it, I know that she's not happy about it, but the way that she speaks of it, it makes me wonder if she ever really dealt with the emotions with that, or if it was also something that she suppresses, because that's heavy. Like, I find myself getting a little choked up when she talks about it, and she manages to sometimes smile as she talks about it. And I don't know if I could be in that place. And I want you to understand, I'm not judging her on that. I'm just saying, I hope that she has taken the time to deal with the emotions associated with that. So Kim thinks that, the fact that she was able to talk to her kids about it, and they next, like, a couple minutes later, they were laughing and talking about something else, that they're fine. She thinks that she and Barry really not talking about it with some of the older kids may have caused some issues with them. And I think it definitely has. They didn't allow the kids to grieve, in my opinion. Because here's the thing, Joshua, you thought he was in this area. Were kids in the car with you? Did they see this accident happen? Do they remember your the sounds of you realizing what had happened? Like, that is something that stays with you, and it is very, very traumatic. So we see Barry and Kim go for a walk, and she mentions that the kids have been asking about Joshua. It could be, it's and she feels like, as does Barry, that it stings for them, but not the kids. I think that's what you think. Maybe it doesn't sting as much for the youngest, but the older kids who remember their brother, it most definitely has affected them. And I'm sure it's also affected the way that you've raised your surviving kids. It's been 12 years, and they reminisce about him, and they decide that they want to go and visit the cemetery, like, they wanna have all the kids come. I personally, and I said this the other day in another, review that I was doing for, Hustle Heart and Hustle Houston. I'm not the type of person who likes to visit, like, burial grounds and things of that nature. I always like to keep my memories. I'll do it sometimes for the sake of the burial, but after that, I don't wanna keep going there. It doesn't feel, based on my beliefs, I don't feel like that person is there. So for me, I just create my own memories, and when I really wanna remember somebody, I do something that helps me remember them, like an activity that I may have done with them or something of that nature. But I don't want to go to a place where, your last resting place. I just don't like that idea. So they start talking about how they're gonna do it, but they don't think that they'll be inviting Ethan and Olivia, because Ethan and Olivia don't want to have any contact with them. Barry then says that this is almost, him and Ethan, and the way that that transpired is almost as great of a loss as Joshua. I didn't like when he said that. It made me cringe, because it's not the same, because your son Ethan is still alive, and you all are having such issues because you all can't just allow him to grow up and make his own choices, because you all tried to control everything, because you all were overbearing, and because you all really created this poo storm that is the way that you kept these kids, and then when they venture off, you have a problem with it. Fix it if you really were trying to fix it by changing your actions rather than just feeling like everybody else is wrong and you're the only ones that are right. So they feel like Ethan isn't the same towards them. We get it. It's all Olivia's fault. And it's back to basically that victim talk. So, end of that. I'm almost done, y'all. It's been over a week since Max ended things with Mariah. Mariah is still talking about how she did not want to appear weak. And now she is finding it more freeing to talk about things. Is she? Because it's only been a week and a half. Or is she saying that she's finding it more freeing because of how much she misses Max and wants him back? So, what's happened is she's invited Max to come over to help her hang some lights. She tells us that she loves him so much that she is willing to just be friends in order to have him in her life. I tried to do that before with an ex. Like we still to this day love one another and we're still friends. But for us, we just kind of do a check-in thing here and there because trying to be around each other all the time and all that other stuff, it just wasn't healthy. Not There was no wrong there. Great, great guy. I've known him since I was a little girl. The problem is you know that you can't be with somebody. Like it's just not going to work out. What is it doing when you continue to hang with the person and do some of the same things that you did when you were dating? It makes absolutely no sense for me. So it didn't work for me. We're friends that check on each other for occasions and things of that nature. And if we run into each other, then we run into each other, but we don't go out of our way to like hang together and things of that nature. But I get it. She's young and she really, really didn't have a lot of friends. So she put a lot of stock in Max. So he comes over to help her put up some of those lights. She tells him that she doesn't know how to fix things with her family. He is listening to her talk and he says that he feels like she's grown since the breakup because he met her family. It's not even been 2 weeks. I'm not saying you can't grow, but did she really grow? Is her communication going to be better? Are the things that you were complaining about really going to be fixed in a matter of a week and a half just because you took some time apart? I don't think so, but what do I know? So he's like, since I'm here, it's time for you to teach me how to dance. So they hold hands and they're staring at each other. They're looking at each other and they dance. They're waltzing. I don't know how to waltz. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Is that how you waltz? Yeah. Yes. 1, 2, 3. They're waltzing. Yes. And Mariah confesses to us that at this point, she's never been kissed. Meanwhile, in the very first episode of this season, her mother is making comments about relations and things of that nature, when here you are probably assuming that your daughter has done things because of the way she may present herself in her clothing choices, when she herself is 17 years old and has never been kissed. So, Kim, you like to act like she's so different from the other girls when it seems to me that there's more similarities there than you even realize. I think you get caught up in her way of expressing herself through fashion that you don't realize that at her core, she's really innocent as well. So, Mariah makes good on her promise and she's teaching him how to do the waltz. And she says that she did ballet with her mother and 60-year-olds because her mother did not want her to be in a class with kids that were the same age as her. And we don't see the amount of control that Kim had. Kim didn't let these kids breathe without her. So she said she also got to do ballroom. And I just can't help but think how controlling it is. They continue to waltz. It's obvious that they're into each other. She's spinning around. Thank you for your assistance, Pooh. She's spinning around and they're dancing and she's talking about how he has two left feet, but they're doing their thing. They awkwardly hug each other. And then they look into each other's eyes and there's a peck. Like like it's not even a gentle one. It's like like gracious, man. You just took her lips off. So Max finally kisses Mariah and she asks him if they can pray. Now, before she does that, she's staring at him like she wants to go in for more, but he kind of goes in for a hug instead. So they're hugging one another, right? So this I'm Mariah, and this is Max, and they're just hugging, and she says, "God, I messed up by letting Max go. I wasn't the easiest at, or no, I wasn't the best at communicating. I have so much to learn. I just want to be the girl that Max deserves. But I'm going to need your help with that because my life is kind of messed up right now. Thank you." They're still hugging. Max says, "God was saying not to keep you waiting." I said, "What is going on here?" So he wants to work it out. And just like that, they're back together. And they kiss again, and then they kiss again. And this is all that she could ever ask for as they do all these kisses. But the third kiss was way better than the first two. So they finally got their rhythm. Needless to say, she's happy, she's excited. And that's all there is for this episode. That's all I got. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you guys so much. Until next time.